This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Alex. Thanks for having me on.
And more famously known as what on the internet?
Infinite Forges.
Yeah. And it's a pretty cool name, I must say. I wish I would have grabbed that one first. But what's today, Will?
It is a wild card Wednesday, and it's another conversation with the CHRILLCAST.
That's right. Who are we having a conversation with today? It's Infinite Forges. Tell everybody about your channel.
Yeah, I primarily focus on Forge content. I started forging when I was a wee lad in Halo 3 way back in the day. But the thing is, I picked it up during quarantine, right? Like this whole thing. And I just started forging on Halo 5. I had some cool ideas. A bunch of stuff was in my head, put it out on this platform. And before you knew it, I just started sharing on Twitter, and the YouTube channel came about after that. Got some recognition from, I think the first person that actually recognized my work was Forge Labs. You've had him on before.
Mm-hmm.
And he shared my stuff on Twitter, got a little motivated from that, shared it again and again and again. And before you knew it, I think in the first 6 months or so, with Halo being in the state that it was, right, got about maybe, I think it was around 250,000 views on Twitter. And just on maps, and I'm like, okay, let's go with it. Let's keep going. So my whole thing is just Forge and creating immersive, experiences, and that's what brings me joy. And it's cool to be able to see the community love it as much as they do.
Yeah, I actually caught wind of your channel because of the Forge Lab interview. I know we kind of talked after that because he had shared one of your things, and you reached out to us, and we talked a little bit, and it was pretty cool dude. I'm not gonna lie, that's why I brought you on the podcast. So glad to have you here, and looking forward to the work you do into the future. But I know Will's got that first question, despite the fact that you kind of answered some of it.
Yeah, you already kind of answered it, but maybe give more detail, I guess.
Yeah, so
or the same answer. So what inspired you to make your channel, and why Infinite Forges?
So why Infinite Forges comes down to the fact that I'm trying to go about this in a smart way. I know where the attention is going. I'm going to be very blunt and honest about this. It's just Infinite Forges because when people look up Halo Infinite Forge, they're gonna be able to see immersive content that I could put out. It's about understanding that for the next 10 years, whether or not it's successful for 10 years or not, the projected platform of Halo Infinite being what it is for the next 10 years of Halo is exciting, and I just wanted to kind of ride that wave and create some exciting immersive experiences for people. So that's why I created it. Infinite Forges, though, is because of the fact that I just thought it was a sick name, and it fell in line with what's to come. But Forge is just a way for me to be able to really express myself and give people a really unique experience. I mean, one of the big things with Halo 5 is the fact that I saw a lot of maps being put out there that look great, they play great, but they didn't have the level of immersion. When I create a map, I want someone to be able to, as you can see on screen here, like this was done in 1 hour, by the way.
Wow.
So this was 1 hour 2 days ago or something like that. Yeah. So I want to make sure that whenever a player steps into a world that I've created, that it feels real, right? That they could believe it's real, like they're actually there. And this specific video you're watching is just something that I would want to see in Halo Infinite, some type of environment like this, right? That's really my reasoning for it. It's just to create cool experiences and give people something to look forward to and enjoy.
absolutely. And from what I've seen, it all looks very enjoyable, especially some of the maps I've seen other content creators get in on. Some of those collabs you've had have been really cool.
Yeah, some of the videos that you put out, I'm just like, I didn't know you could do that.
Right?
That's a thing?
Dude, Halo 5 Forge is actually incredibly, it's because you look at Unreal Engine 4, you look at Far Cry, you look at just the variety of different engines out there that allow you to edit. It's pretty limited, right? But for how limited it is, it's the ability to create things is there, and you just have to be willing to look at objects at every angle and be creative enough to create something really unique. But it's a special tool, regardless of its limitations. It's special.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, since Halo Forge existed in the first place, it seems like Halo has had, if people are willing to dive through all of the mechanics of Forge, seems like there's endless and infinite possibilities as to what you can accomplish in the Forge maps.
Pretty much, dude. It really comes down to, because like, look at the video here. It's like, these are trees, right? And I'm using different trees to be able to create different styles of bushes. Like, it's just, you can't look at things in Forge, you know, you can't take it for face value. You got to be able to, like that right there, that's not even water, that's steam, you know? So it's like, you just have to, you have to just look at things and say, okay, what does this look like? What can this be used like? And just be willing to kind of push the boundaries like that.
So how did you get into making Forge maps? What was your first experience with Forge maps?
That was like I said in the beginning, like a wee lad. Like, I was like a teenager, dude, playing Halo 3, just throwing fusion coils around and placing like 50 of them on one map until the game crashed. Like, I'd like stupid stuff, you know. So it's like, but then, you know, over time I just drifted from the franchise because it just got busier. But then I got the opportunity and you know, to jump back in, and I did. But it was back then. It was just the OG times, right? Where you didn't have all these objects. Like, you would never be able to create an experience like this, like what we're seeing in prior games that would have never been real. It's basically a bunch of boxes and that's that. So it was Halo 3, Halo Reach, and yeah, it was probably some of the best times of my life, dude, on video games, playing Forge with a bunch of friends back then.
Yeah, I know in like Halo 3 for me, like I used to do it with my buddies where we basically would spend 4 hours making it like a quote unquote fortress on Zanzibar, and then we would like go through it in 3 seconds and destroy it, and that was what we did. Because we would lace it with like the you know, the fusion coils, so it would never stand up after a couple of grenades. But
yeah, and you know, I think I watched your interview I did with Arash in Forge Labs, right, Sean? And you know, you were talking about the ease of getting into Forge and how complex it is, right? I love Forge because of the fact that you can make something like this, right? But then you could also make something like what you're talking about, just like silly stuff, right? Mm-hmm. The mix between the two is great. So I look forward to seeing what Infinite does.
Yeah, I have to say Infinite's Forge could be a make or break component for the Forge community in general, because if people don't like it, they're just going to go back to what they like, which is the Halo 5 Forge, right? But if they do like it, it could be a super infinite possible. I keep using that word, possibilities, right? So it's exciting to see that come back in a big way, hopefully. Will, do you have that next question?
Can I steal your question? Because that's the one I want to ask right now.
What do you want to ask? Oh, the next one?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
Right, so you said that one took you an hour. How long in general does it take you to start these maps and like finish them from start to finish?
So if you actually want to go to my Twitter on here, right? If you go on there, what you'll see is my most recent video is of a Halo Reach map, right? I built that map in one day, dude. Like, it's kind of nuts, and it's because, you know, I work from home and whatnot, so just whenever I have an idea, I just jump on here and do my thing. But this map right here, if you go up,
okay, the one at the very top here.
No, that one's Hydro. That one took a month.
I was gonna say I thought that one took quite a lot of time.
Yeah, that one took a month. So that map is actually, you know, that's a good one to actually look at because of the fact that but this is the Reach one, right? This one.
Sorry. Here we go.
Yeah, this one was a day, and everything about this map was just about pushing the boundaries of Reach. Because of the fact that the way that I positioned it, you can see the Halo ring in the background with Forge World, right? Everything's about the skybox. Everything's about just like framing I don't know how to, but a scene, right? Framing a scene. So that's part of the immersion that I like to do. In Reach, it's usually just a bunch of squares and, you know, metal boxes and whatnot, and it doesn't really stand out. So for me, I wanted to create something that stood out, and when you look at it, you're like, wow, okay, that looks unique. And that took about a day. This is Halo VFX, actually. That was.
Oh, sorry. I told you I always skip around during videos. My apologies.
No, you're all good. But if you want to go back to Twitter, you'll see the Hydro one. That took a month. So it's really a variety. But if I jump into something with like full on passion and focus and whatever, I could get it done in a day or two.
My screen just got really big there. My bad. Sorry about that.
You're good, man. But yeah. So if that answers your question.
Yeah, so this depends. Are there like some that you like know going into it's only going to take a couple hours, or do you just kind of like, you know, you have an idea in your head and you just do it until completion?
So like I said with the first video we watched, right? That one I went into it with the idea that it was going to take an hour, right? It was like an hour and 15 minutes, but I'm going to count it as an hour, right? So it's like it's
Round down, right? Mathematical properties.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like an hour 15. But the thing is, like with certain things where I set a goal for it, sure. But for instance, like first ever Halo, yeah, this one was a month. So it's just one of these things where this was actually a map that was made specifically after a Halo Infinite map that will be in the game, right? I played with the developers on this of the actual game and of the actual map in Halo Infinite, and I'd actually would love to do an interview with him to kind of see the forger's mindset with only taking 2 screenshots and the developer's mindset, right? And seeing what we can kind of create like that. But this one was really about being able to map out what does a hydroelectric dam look like? What are the, you know, like different areas within it? There's a control room, there's an outside area, there's a garage, there's a maintenance room, there's, you know, the generator down here. Like, it was a lot of mapping out. There's a lot of logic that went into it, and that's where it becomes a little bit more complex, you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
So as far as mapping out this structure, how much experience do you have with architecture outside of forging?
none.
None. Okay, so this is based on like just what you've learned trying to make the map, what it would require, doing some research in the background, and the screenshots that were provided.
Yeah. So basically, I looked at the 2 screenshots, and I said to myself, all right, cool. Let's look at the decals. I saw that there was a maintenance room, right, or a maintenance bay, I think is what it was called. You saw a whirlpool dam. You saw a recharge deck, right? And there's just like a bunch of different little hints. And then in the axis symbol on those 2 screenshots, you could actually see a water symbol, right? Like a water droplet. So you just put it all together, you know. And the thing is, it was funny. I brought up, I'm not going to say that, but I brought it up to them and was like, is this inspired by Reach? You know, nothing was said, but the thing is, like, I strongly believe this was inspired by Reach, you know, in the official game, right, in Halo Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
So I built a lot of this map after what I believe that would take inspiration from Powerhouse, right? So I think they're bringing back a hydroelectric dam facility. I had one of the forgers that I was with. He was like, yo, what if it's just a giant washing machine? You know, like a futuristic washing machine. I'm like, yeah, okay. But I think it's a hydroelectric dam. And what's interesting is actually in the screenshot up top right there, right in the center where you see the mountain and all that.
Mm-hmm.
In the screenshots, you could barely see the mountain. But we saw it, and that's what inspired me to build the entire outside area of that map. So I have no idea. Once again, I have absolutely no context to what this thing looks like in Infinite, but it's going to be very exciting to see how wrong I got it. Right,
Yeah.
I got it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally understand.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if you got it pretty close to the cuff, you know.
I will say one thing though. I know that the angles on this map that I made are a lot more simpler, and that was on purpose, right? To what's going to be in the actual map. I would imagine there's going to be a lot more angles and sight lines and whatnot. That would be expected.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, how did you decide to start modeling the Halo Infinite maps within the Halo 5 engine? What made you decide to do that?
Okay, so I think it's just a good idea where if people are interested in something, right? If I have the ability to bring it to reality for them, why not? You know, like for instance, with the Inside Infinite update that we're going to get this month, right? We're going to see some type of screenshots or concept art or whatever bringing Zeta Halo to life. Now, for instance, if we see anything that really stands out and is being talked about a lot, people want to experience, what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll build a map around that environment. You know, like I'll just build that environment in Halo 5. And give people something to enjoy in the meantime, right? So that's kind of like my thing. That's kind of why I do it. You know, I just want to, once again, coming back to the immersion, providing experience. No, that's the reason. If that answered correctly.
He's silently helping 343 promote Infinite. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Hey, to be honest with you, 343, if any of you guys are watching this, I know some of you guys from there. You're welcome. I've literally, like, I've done so, like, it's nothing compared to the marketing they're going to do, I'm sure, but like just keeping the community engaged and thinking about it, I do believe it has been a help, and it's at no cost, so you're welcome.
Like, it does, you know, when you do these collabs with the other content creators, it is content for other Halo content creators to put out with you, and it does build hype. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw you put out that Infinite, the Hydro map, I got a little hyped myself, and I realized after, I was like, you know, this is based on a Halo 5 Forge, and it might not be anything like what the final is. Who knows? But I'm assuming it's pretty
looked
close.
At the screenshot.
It did.
It blew me away.
Now they could just, you know, and 343 is not really like this, but they could be like, you know what? He made this map. We got to be different.
or he's like, they're like, this map's better now.
Yeah, you know what's funny? It's the thing is, like, I have visions of getting involved, you know, professionally with Halo one day, God willing that happens, you know. And the thing is, like, I'm pushing for that, and I'm just creating because I simply enjoy it. But yeah, I do believe that I have helped, and if I have, then amazing. I love it. I love the franchise. You know, I wish them well. I want them to succeed with this game. I really do. But also on the other hand, like, I'm the type of guy where I look at situations like I want everyone in the city to have the largest building, right? I don't want to be in a position where I'm at the top, you know, I have the tallest building and everyone else has to be torn down in order for me to be the biggest. Like, I want everyone to thrive. So if I can create content for other people to thrive off of, and I thrive in the meantime due to that, great. That's awesome. You know, like, I'm all for it.
Yeah, we agree with that notion entirely, and that's why when we do our podcast, we'll have everybody that we enjoy, regardless of subscriber counts, or, you know, regardless of really anything, as long as we enjoy what they're doing and we think they
that's why
deserve
we
an
invite
interview.
people on. It's like we like the people and their stuff.
Yeah, we had
Right.
somebody with I think the range is from 50 subscribers all the way up to, you know, Forge Labs at 1 point whatever million whatever ridiculous subscriber count he's up to now.
Yeah, congratulations to him too, by the way. Because
Yeah,
I
that's
think
awesome.
he started like really slow, from my understanding. You know, it took him a while to get started, but he stuck with it for years and made it happen, dude. It's exciting.
Absolutely. Let's see here. So, Will, you got that next question?
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to the most in Halo Infinite?
Forge.
I should guess that.
Yeah, you could have probably guessed that one, but the thing is, like, yeah, you know, when Halo Infinite comes out, I look forward to the story. I look forward to all of that. But when it comes to multiplayer and when it comes to all the different elements that are going to be in it that maybe we haven't seen yet, that we definitely haven't seen yet, I feel like Forge is going to be a big focus to me, because I would love to see. Because here's the thing, you know, like, if they have AI, right? They built a brand new engine for this thing, right? AI has been one of the most requested features in Forge for a very, very long time. If they have AI in Forge, if they have a landscape editor, it would be incredibly exciting for me, just because of the fact that then you could create mini campaign missions. You can create scenes. You
That's
can
what I say. It'd be cool to make like forgeable campaigns, but also forgeable cutscenes. Like, I don't even know if that's possible. But, like,
Well, think about it. If you could add voice acting, you could. If you could record your own audio, you definitely could do your own cutscenes.
Holy crap! Yes, now they have to do that. Delay it again.
Delayed again. But I talked to in my interview with Halo VFX, right? I told him, I was like, yo, if we do playthroughs, right, on YouTube, like if I build the campaign and someone plays through it, would you be able to do like blur style cutscenes for these gameplay missions that I create? So it's because you've seen the stuff he does, right? I mean, it's nuts. Imagine that linked with a Halo Infinite gameplay, you know?
And then also a custom browser for it. That would be cool. Like
Oh, well, yeah, I think a custom browser is going to be there without it. That's the thing.
I meant with the campaigns though. It's like you can create your own mini campaigns, put them up on the custom browser, and like people could just go through and play through them.
Oh, well, yeah, that would be absolutely incredible. Like, imagine this, right? Imagine if you played through something and then on YouTube you just edited in where you see a cutscene, right? Like, it'd be really cool. But yeah, AI. And the reason why I believe that Infinite will have AI and the landscape editor and all that stuff is because they have looked at what they've done in the past. They've tried to push the boundaries before, but in areas that didn't succeed as well. So they're going to take a step back and rein it back and then push again, but in areas that were well received, right? And specifically when it comes to Forge, everything gets evolved upon, right? So when you saw Halo 4 compared to Halo 5, Halo 5 had these large landscape, like kind of tiles, right? That you could like move around. It's like these pads. You had a small, medium, large, right? So my theory is that if you're going to expand upon anything, you're going to turn those pads into a full-on landscape editor. Like what's the next evolution of that? And then they also had dead alien bodies in Halo 5 Forge as well. So what's the next evolution of including bodies? Most likely living bodies, AI, right? So it's like, I'm just trying to think from their perspective, how could you evolve the last one? And the next evolutions of them would be these things that we're talking about. So I wouldn't be shocked to see them,
Yeah.
I had something that I was going to say. Can you imagine you're into a campaign, right? And people are literally reaching out to the community for voice acting in custom campaigns. Like, can you imagine how many opportunities people would have to have like Hidden Xperia voice a grunt, or like you get Chris Reagan voicing like a brute, or like you'd get, I don't know, hey, maybe you get Sean to voice something. You're like playing this game and all of a sudden you hear your favorite content creator voicing some random AI in the game, and it's like, what is going on? Like, the possibilities, if they allow this kind of thing, are endless. And like you said, you could just have cutscenes on YouTube that say, hey, like in the bottom of the screen says objective, and it says objective complete, watch the YouTube video, just like as a reminder, like, hey, there's a cutscene that goes with this campaign. But custom campaigns would be awesome, honestly.
Yeah, and not to overhype the Forge so the expectations are set too high, but I do believe I believe in Michael Schor, right? He's the lead designer for Forge and Halo Infinite. I believe in him. I think he's going to do a great job. And I think that it's you got to look at Halo 5. The only reason why that game was remaining relevant is because of the fact that you had crazy psychopaths like me that just got on there and created stuff even when there weren't a lot of people on there, right? It stayed relevant because of the fact that the Forge community was still relevant. That's the only reason,
Mm-hmm.
Or else you would have a few people playing, multiplayer, and that's that. Custom games, that's the longevity of Halo. And I think they really understand that, especially with Halo 5, and they're going to double down on that, because if you got a 10-year lifespan, right, that you're aiming for, you're going to focus on the community.
Totally. Mm-hmm. And 343 has their focus in the community, and I appreciate that about them as a developer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. So what is your favorite Halo game, and what's your least favorite Halo game?
Oh God, this question is good, but it sucks because like no matter how you answer it. So my least favorite Halo game would be that's actually easy, like the Halo Wars. I just don't like but the thing, and that's gonna upset a lot of people because they just kind of got yeeted, right? Like Halo Wars 2 is no longer supported, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, never liked it. But the thing is, my favorite Halo game would have to be interesting. It would have to be Halo 3. I really love Halo 3 because of the fact that it's just, I think it's more the memories and nostalgia more than anything.
Yeah, that seems to be the case with a lot of people with Halo 3. Surprised you would take the Spartan Assault game over, Halo Wars and all that stuff.
I never played the Spartan Assault, so go ahead. Yeah, let's switch it for that.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, man, if you're gonna pick a game based on not liking the game type, a lot of people don't like Spartan Assault, or at least they don't like it as much as they like Halo Wars.
Yeah, let's do Spartan Assault. I could appreciate Halo Wars, but yeah, I never played. I never played Spartan Assault.
I had somebody say, "Man, I don't like Halo Wars gameplay, but those cutscenes," and I'm like, "Really? You played the entire Halo Wars game? Just watch the cutscenes? They're on YouTube."
Yeah, that seems like a lot of time
Yep.
wasted for something you don't enjoy. But yeah, the cutscenes are incredible. That's actually one thing I really want to see happen in Infinite. It's just incredible looking cutscenes. And also, I can't wait to see this community kind of eat its words when Halo Infinite drops its next trailer, right? And it's updated with the ray tracing and like whatever else, because this game absolutely is going to be likely in 2021 the most gorgeous game and by far the most gorgeous Halo game that we've seen. I have no doubt about that. I'm not a hype man. I'm not trying to just promote it. I'm being honest. I really do feel confident in a stylistic approach.
Hopefully,
I'm not taking it the way it looked in that trailer. Sorry, Chris.
I liked the way it looked in the trailer too. I thought it looked clean. There were definitely some technical issues with things popping in and out, but
and the popping and the
I thought the art design was great. I thought the art design was great. Personally,
yeah. The thing is, they've gone in a direction that is solid. Like this game is everything that people have really been asking for. But the reality is, when Halo Infinite drops, you're going to get a lot of people that are just upset. They got nothing else to do. So
all I have to say is, when they said that you can now skyjack a Banshee with the grapple hook, I'm sold. Like, I'll buy the game for that. Why wasn't that in the trailer? That's the only thing people would have talked about.
Yeah.
Well, they might put it in the February update. Imagine you see, I'm excited for this, man. I'm old enough now where I'm kind of just like, if I can just enjoy it, right? If I can just have like a really good experience, like I'm good. Like I don't want to keep up with the drama. I just want to enjoy it, and that's what makes me excited for the game, is the fact that they've listened to the community this much and they've really taken their time. I think the one thing people are overlooking is the delay, the fact that they were like, hey, we could cash out in December, right? Or we could delay it and be a little bit more resourceful and really make sure this thing is on point. And the fact that Joseph Staten was in there and he said that this reminded him of the initial concept for Halo CE, right? That is a big deal. Not a lot of, and I know he's in a position where he needs to talk it up, right? But I don't think this guy would
You don't think he would talk out of the left and right side of his mouth saying different things?
No, it's because I feel like he's a very integrity-driven dude, right? Especially when it comes to this franchise, and for that reason, I already see like Brohammer, right? They're bringing back. This is essentially going to be like Halo CE 2.0, right?
Mm-hmm.
In many ways, and that's why I said actually after this cutscene, be interesting to kind of talk to you about this, and without going too far and rambling too much, but. Imagine that when Chief actually is supposed to be jumping out of this, it's like a Guardian or something, and it EMPs the Pelican, flies back in the Pelican, and then they crash land on the ring, right? That would essentially be the same type of intro to Halo Infinite like it was for Halo CE. Then you step out, both of you guys survive, and you check out the ring and try to find your way back and backtrack, because it seems like Chief kind of is lost. He doesn't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
See, I also love the discovery of what Zeta Halo will have to unfold, because that's just super intriguing to me.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when we had that one Wildcard Wednesday when we talked about the Forerunners.
Oh yeah.
I still think it'd be a really cool idea if you just randomly happen upon the Flood, and like you as a player can release them if you follow that like side quest. But then if you don't follow that side quest, you have no idea the Flood's actually on the ring. I think that'd be a really cool way of reintroducing them.
Well, you know what's interesting? Every Halo, I'm going to make a video about this actually tomorrow, and I'm probably going to get laughed at by the 343 employees I know. But the thing is, like, it's okay. Essentially, what happens is, imagine if this game, because it's all about hope, right, and mystery. Every Halo game to date has been about destroying the ring, right? In this game, the ring is destroyed in the beginning. So what if the premise of this game is to fix the ring?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I like that.
At the end of
This
it,
ring's been fixed many times over the course of the history of the Halo, the actual Halo historical timeline, right? So
Yeah, so it would fit into his thought process.
yeah. So I think maybe that could be a redeeming factor because you fix the ring, you get the pilot back to his wife and daughter. I would imagine, right?
you hope though, right? He's not gonna become a flood, biomass. I hope.
Dude, you never know what could happen. Maybe the daughter thing and the mother thing is too predictable. I mean, but it's also rated T, so I don't know. So it's that's my concept though. The fact that they're gonna kind of switch it up like that, but we'll see.
It'd be cool if they dropped in like I don't know if it'd be DLC or what, but other characters that you could like put into this game after you finish it the first time as like companions. It'd be kind of interesting. I don't know if you like have like it's not canonical, but to have like Sergeant Johnson on Zeta Halo with you would be epic.
I think that's going to happen in mods. Absolutely, people will be able to do that. What I would like to see is that when you complete this campaign, right, that what you'd be able to do is something similar to Reach, where you could take your multiplayer Spartan and all your buddies and go into the world and kind of just explore. That would be an opportunity missed if we can't do that, I think.
Or what if you can play as Brohammer the whole campaign instead of the Master Chief after the first playthrough?
No, I don't want to play as Master Chief.
Who knows, man?
Master Chief as an AI could become some hilarious memes.
But I do think that at some point though, it might just be the Chief, right? And I think that's how it's gonna be. But from what it looks like, you can upgrade Chief as well, right? I think there's going to be some RPG elements in this when Chief actually can become more of a soldier than he initially is, and that all just ties into their marketing where it's just about you are the Spartan. They've never really done that before. It's always kind of been there because you never saw his face, right? But this one's all going to be about customization and really understanding like the weapon you're holding. By the way, I think weapon customization is definitely coming into this game. A lot of people are going to say it's like COD, but I wouldn't doubt it if it does, and I think everything's just going to be catered around the experience that you're having. You're the hero, right? And that's why I think having maybe your own Spartan in the world would be a fun little thing to do, like Reach.
Especially after you finish the campaign the first time, because I think it would kind of break the experience if the first time you play through it, your Chief isn't the Chief. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, after you beat it.
Makes sense. Let's see here. Will, you got that next question?
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier some other, games that have editing tools. Do you ever do forging in other games, or do you just stick to Halo?
I've primarily stuck to Halo. I tried Fortnite once, and I was like, nope, can't do this. I've tried Far Cry, and I love Far Cry. Sorry. I've tried a variety of different ones, but the ones that I would stick with is just Halo and Far Cry, because Far Cry is just incredibly beautiful, right? There's just so much to do with that. But Unreal Engine 4 and all that, those aren't games, but those are things that I'm stepping into and learning, and wow, is that an experience. But for games, it's primarily Halo.
Okay.
Like you're not what is it, Inferno Plus putting the Dark Souls characters on Halo maps?
No, dude, no. I think that I see what Sean does. I see what Unsorted Guy does, Kim, right? Mm-hmm. And they forge on on Minecraft and whatnot, which I think is great. It's awesome. It's just not my thing. So
I gotcha. So you're sticking to mostly Halo because you like that design, that theme, that aesthetic more than these other games.
It's a fun universe.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. I guess I got the next question. So besides Halo, you kind of mentioned some of this already, but besides Halo, what games do you play, especially in your free time, and what are some of your favorites and least favorite game series you've played?
Oh, God. So I primarily play like Halo, Call of Duty, like the Gears of War, and yeah, I mean, my biggest thing right now is MCC. It sounds crazy because I've been playing the same game for like 20 years. But
Yeah. Yeah.
there's another game that I had, which is actually a mod. It's called SPV3.
Yep.
Been playing a lot of that, and it's so interesting, like what they've been able to do with Halo CE and how they mod that. But really, guys, I'll be honest, I'm like primarily a Halo dude. But when it comes to COD, I love COD actually. Far Cry is fun, right? But mainly for the editor. I was a big fan of the Sims back in the day.
That's another editing tool, right?
Yeah, dude, anything, quite honestly, anything in like the city builders and all that stuff, like I've just always been into that. Like I probably
Super Mario Maker. You ever tried that one?
Mario Maker, no, I've never.
That one seems like it's a much simpler interface, let's put it that way. But some of the crazy 2D side-scrolling action that I've seen in Mario Maker has blown my mind. It's like I don't even know how these people do this. Same with like the Halo 3 editor. It was so simple, but the ceiling of skill was so high that you could literally almost do anything in Halo 3, despite the limited editing tools you had.
That's what makes these tools so unique. And I actually think that's why 343 in many ways, Bungie probably would have limited these tools just because of the fact that it's like, let's see what they can do with the assets we give them. And I don't think it's intentional like that, but I think it did initially become that where it's like, hey, we don't need to blow it out of the water. We got to give them something that has enough opportunity and watch them just succeed it, I think that was maybe the mentality. I'm not sure, but I think with Infinite, something's changing about this. I think it's going to be, hey, we're trying to be around for 10 years. Let's really give the community what they need to be able to create some really incredible experiences. And one thing I will say, kind of off topic, but it isn't on topic actually, with Forge, it's just the armor coatings, right? These are not specific just to armors. We've read that. And what that means to me is that, like what you're seeing here with the hexagon pillars, right? You only had maybe, I don't know, 4 different textures that you could put on these. In Forge, what I believe is going to happen is that there's going to be there's going to be an abundant amount of textures that you could put on all of these objects, and those are going to be coatings. And it would be interesting that, maybe at some point, I don't know if they monetize Forge, right? But if it's like, hey, if you want a different metal pack, if you want a different Covenant pack or Forerunner pack or anything like that, like that is something they could do, because I believe Forge would be part of that free-to-play element, But I think specifically when it comes to coatings, allowing the developer to really have more access into how things look and feel, I think that will transpire into Forge as well.
So you mentioned a whole boatload of Halo games, and I agree it would be interesting to see what they do with a free-to-play Forge tool, because isn't the Halo 5 the Forge tool? They just, and this isn't meant to be a long question, but the Forge tool for Halo 5 is free on the computer, correct?
Mm-hmm. I think so, yeah.
Okay. Just real quick, have you ever played this game? I bring this up a lot because I don't think a lot of people know about this.
What is this?
The side-scrolling Halo game that was like, it was officially endorsed by Bungie as being like able to be made and produced and put on free-to-play online. This is
Halo Zero?
It's called Halo Zero. It's meant to be like a Master Chief before Halo CE and what he's doing. I think maybe if Chief was on, it might be a Chief on Fall of Reach type of deal. I'm not 100% sure, but it's made by Doberman Software. It was his first project really, and Bungie's like, this is cool. We'll just let you do this. This is fine, because he made all his own assets, made a side-scrolling Halo game.
Dude, this is great. I mean, it's like unique.
It's like 2005, I want to say, when this came out. He did this a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like this is fun, man. I mean, this is just fun.
Mm-hmm. It's got a Warthog run too at the end.
Now, see, I hope a Warthog run, and I think there will be one in Infinite.
I hope so too.
I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't see why there wouldn't be.
Yeah, what's more Halo than that?
Right.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't think there is much more Halo than that. But we'll just have to see when the time comes. But this is pretty sweet, dude. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it took me a while, but I did find the original .exe for this game, so like eventually somebody's gonna want it, and I don't know how people are gonna find this thing anymore, but it is my favorite like random spin-off early on in the Halo series, because I found this back when it first came out on random forums, so I always try to remind people it exists.
This is great.
So you have never played this, is what you're telling me?
I've never played this, but I'd be willing to.
Takes about 30 minutes. I think I would love to see some Halo content creators in 2021 like stream playing this game. It's like a half an hour. It's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Dude, if it's a half an hour, then whatever. Send me the thing. I'll throw it up.
Sounds good.
You know?
Let's see here.
No, honestly, do it because like
I will.
Yeah.
I will gladly do it. Okay. Let's see here. Will's got that next question.
Yeah. Who are some of your favorite content creators? I know you've mentioned a couple.
My favorite content creators would be, I mean, you know, like the guy that really helped me actually get started was, you know, what his name is Sean W. Right? He was the one that was just like promoting my stuff a lot. He moved into more like car stuff and whatnot. He's not really doing much of Halo at the moment, but you know, he did for quite some time, but he's going to get back into it in time. He's just trying to find his avenue. But he and I did a lot of stuff back when he was doing it. This was only like a month ago, but it was over the past few months. And he's a great dude, honestly, in person. So, you know, if anyone gets the chance to ever meet him, talk to him, do so. But
maybe we should do an interview with him in the future, Will.
I've said this already, Chris. I said this like months ago.
Yeah, do an interview with Sean. You know, like he's great, dude. But and I appreciate his help and whatnot throughout the time. But another guy would be simply, I would say, Hidden Xperia, not just because he's big, right, on YouTube, but because of the fact, yeah. No, it's just the thing. He puts a lot of time and effort into his videos. You can see that the quality is there, the value's there, the passion's there. And another guy that I got to say, which is actually, he's a quality dude, is Fletch. I really like Fletch, and him and I actually did an interview. You can go on there. It must be one of his recent, Ultimate Halo. You can just click on his channel, and you'll be able to see it. It should be like third or fourth video or something like that. I think it was like the Infinite one, something like that. Anyway, you can find it. It's of the Hydro map that we did. And that was my first time meeting him, and we just had a great conversation. It was a lot of fun. Right there, first one. So that was a quick interview we did. Yeah, just a quality dude, really good dude.
He was on the channel quite a while ago. He's a really good dude.
Yeah.
Really nice. But those are the guys. I mean, Arash is great. I really wish Arash like all the success, because that guy is like grinding it out. He honestly is, and he's doing a good job at it, you know. So Custom, there's a guy that supports me a lot, you know, Custom Chief. He's been doing some stuff. Sorry, I'm throwing way too many people at you.
You're good. I just like to look them up as we're going.
Yeah, and he's at what, like 1.8 or 1.9 or something like that, 170.
178.
Yeah, so you know, like I hope all these guys find success and whatnot. So if I missed anyone, don't take it personally. Okay, if you're watching this, but those guys.
Forge Labs.
Well, Forge Labs is honestly, I haven't talked to him much. I think that he's just a really passionate and like consistent dude. That's what I like about him, is the fact that he's been able to, you know, he creates great stuff, right? But I think more than anything, it's just how consistent he's been, right? It's a quality I admire. So yeah,
My goodness.
yeah.
He's almost at 2 million. Holy crap.
Yeah, he's blowing up.
He's going so fast.
I mean, it's a momentum game at this point. He'll be up 4 million by the time Infinite drops.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially if he does Infinite stuff, he's only going to help the popularity of Halo, because his channel is so popular right now.
Oh, dude, he's doing Infinite stuff.
Yeah, he's doing great stuff.
Yeah, he'll definitely do it. But yeah, I enjoy his stuff too. I watch his stuff a lot. So yeah, and then another guy, which some people have said is controversial or not, but I've talked to him. He's done nothing wrong to me. He's been a good guy. Was Halo follower, right? Like, and I just know I just know what people say, but I think he's quite honestly how he's been to me. He's been a good guy, right? He's put out some really like cool stuff, and he's always informative. So, it's been awesome to be able to get to know him over time too. And yeah, just a good dude.
There's nothing controversial about Halo follower in 2021. So,
it was Halo 4 follower. That was the controversial one.
Yeah, that was it was all controversial back then. No, I'm not gonna get into that. Our channel didn't even exist when any controversies were coming out. So you know what? If Halo follower ever does want to do an interview with us, we're open to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Awesome, love it. Yeah, no, he's a good dude. But that's just there's a list. That's the list.
There you go. Let's see here. So I guess we're on this now. So is there anything that we missed that you would like to cover about your channel, or anything that you would like to talk about in general, or anything that you want to ask Will and I?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, what I would say is that if you're into Forge content, if you want some really immersive Halo content, if you want custom campaign missions, if that's a thing, if you just want some Forge content that is specifically catered to really expanding what's possible, right? That's my focus here. Subscribe and hit me up. And if you want to see some things prior to Halo Infinite and Halo 5 Forge, and get your hands on it, kind of like what we're watching here, like Hydro, being able to step into a space or an environment before it actually releases. That's what I do. That's what I enjoy. So that's that. And then second, I was just going to ask you guys, how long have you been doing this?
It was 2019 when we started.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're going on our second year. That's crazy.
Yeah. So this March, I think, is the end of year 2.
Yep.
Very cool.
And we've noticed the podcast kind of have a slow growth unless you like already have a built-in audience. Like if Hidden Experience started a podcast tomorrow, he'd probably have like 20,000 subscribers day 2. But like for us, we started a podcast with no previous content on the internet. So
well, I think what it comes down to is just you collaborate, right? And this content and consistency. That's social media in general. It's so funny, social media, right? It's like you keep putting content out and you get nothing, right? Nothing. But then all of a sudden one video pops off, and it's just kind of how the game works. It's very interesting. But I think if you do Halo content, especially in a period that is drier right now, it's a prime time to be able to grow a channel because you have more of the attention, Yeah,
we always cover Halo when there's something Halo to cover.
Right.
But we do cover other things too, because there's not always
to turn into a Halo channel. I keep telling them, it's like we should just be.
How do you convert the shrimp into a Halo character? You can't. Well,
just give him a helmet.
plus our other content does do well as well. So I'm perfectly fine.
Mr. Chief, put the Mr. Chief helmet on the shrimp.
Exactly. And give him a sword, and you're good to go.
Can you do that? Dude, that's great. That's a great second channel. I'm telling you, I would subscribe to that just because of the fact that looks hilarious.
Oh man. Okay. Anyways, anything else that you wanted to ask?
No, man. I'm just really happy that you guys brought me on, and it's a pleasure to be able to meet you guys too, and hopefully I provided some good insight for you guys.
Yeah. I think it's really cool to talk to the different facets of the Halo community, because everybody has a different take on why they like Halo, and that's kind of why Halo is such a big community, because everybody has a different take on why they like it and what exactly it is that they like about it. So
right, exactly.
It's one of the big. It's like, other than Star Wars, what other space franchise has the level of involvement that Halo does?
None.
Exactly.
None.
So,
I don't know anyone else that would create stuff like Forge, like all the forgers out there that do stuff. There's a commitment to this franchise that's just kind of wild, to say the least.
Power Rangers in space. No, I'm just kidding.
That's definitely Halo 5.
But it is, though, to be honest with you.
Anyways, well then, we want to thank you for coming on this podcast for an interview, and we really appreciate you taking your time to do this.
Yeah, man. No, it was honestly a pleasure. Thank you guys so much.
So we're going to conclude this segment. As always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Alex. Peace.
And we will see you
Next CHRILLCAST. Bye, guys.